Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to a new episode of Business Insider. I'm your host for tonight, Mohammed Abdurrahim, and tonight we'll be talking about a landmark event that was hosted here in Egypt recently, and that's the IGU's the International Geographic Union's thematic conference for the year 2025. The IGU was celebrating its centennial 100 years ago, exactly in 1925, and under the auspices and supervision of the IGU, the world held its first geographical conference under the IGU, where Egypt was one of its founding members. That conference was held here in Egypt, and so in the centennial, Egypt hosted the conference again. A lot of important issues were discussed in the conference, and with us tonight is the Secretary General of the conference, of the IGU's 2025 thematic conference, and also the Secretary General of the Egyptian Geographical Society, the Professor of Urban Development and of Urban Geography and Geographical Information Systems, Dr. Ismail Yousef. A very good evening to you, Dr. Yousef. It's a great pleasure having you with us.
Thank you for the Egyptian TV, and I appreciate being here.
Sir.
You know, I really love it.
It's our privilege, sir, to have you with us, and congratulations on the hosting of the conference and the success of the conference. We'll be talking about all of the topics, all of the events, and again, the significance and the symbolism of this conference being held here in Egypt, right after we watch a report about our main topic for tonight. Dr. Yousef, dear viewers, please stay with us.
The International Geographical Union emphasized the importance of geography as a driver of development in various countries around the world. During the International Geographical Conference hosted by Egypt, speakers noted that successful governments rely primarily on geographers for strategic planning and development projects. During the conference, Dr. Mohammed Zaki Al-Sudani, the president of the Egyptian Geographical Society, honored several members of the International Geographical Union and a number of academics and geographic experts in various branches of geography from Egypt, the Arab region, and foreign countries. The honorees and members of the International Geographical Union praised the ongoing efforts of the Egyptian Geographical Society to support knowledge-based fields in coordination with universities and research centers. It's worth noting that Cairo has recently witnessed the launch of the International Geographical Congress, hosted by Egypt for the second time in its history, 100 years after hosting this conference in 1925. The conference held in Cairo was attended by Arab and international participants throughout its duration. Numerous researches, studies and work files related to the branches of geography and new developments in these fields were presented during the conference. 14 of the 44 specialized committees of the International Geographical Union participated in the conference. The researches were published in full in Arabic, English or French after the conference in one of the journals of the Egyptian Geographical Society, depending on the researcher's preference. Distinguished research papers were also published in English. The conference emphasized the importance of geography and its national and developmental role at all levels.
All right, welcome back, dear viewers. Thanks to Abir Hussein and Rasha Abdel Hamid for this report, and thank you for staying with us, and thanks to our dear distinguished guests with us here in the studio, Dr. Ismail Yousef, the Professor of Urban Geography and Geographical Information Systems, also the Secretary General of the Egyptian Geographical Society and the Secretary General of the 2025 thematic conference organized by the IGU, the International Geographic Union here in Egypt. So, why Egypt, Dr. Yousef, and how important was it indeed 100 years after the first conference to celebrate the centennial here in our beloved country?
Yes, 1925 was the first ever Congress, Geographical Congress, being held under the umbrella of the International Geographical Union. The International Geographical Union is founded in 1923. Before that time, there were other 10 congresses. One of them, the first one, was in Antwerp, in Belgium. And in that one, they put the basis of the maps and the Greenwich line for the time divide and everything, and many of the legends of geography and, of course, domains of geography. And after 10 years, in 1925, that there was the first conference to be held under the patronage of His Majesty King Fuad. 1925 Congress, we got the idea of celebrating the anniversary of passing 100 years on the 2022nd. On 2022nd, it was the first time ever that we invite one of the commissions of the International Geographical Union, which is named Rural Sustainability. It was invited by Monofia University and by the Egyptian Geographical Society. And at that time, the deputy president and many of the commission chairs were already there, and we got the idea of making the celebration in 2025 under the former board of directors. When we got in charge as the new board of directors, we communicated with 44 commissions of the International Geographical Union. Now they have become 47 commissions. The 44 commissions, we were able to got the approval of 14th of these commissions. And at that time, we started since 2.5 years to prepare for this conference, and the program of the conference and the agenda of the conference has been set since 2.5 years. And luckily, many of these activities met, the willingness of the people who participated in the conference. And for example, some of them are the trips and optional trips and excursions during the symposium. And the conference is divided to 4 main parts. One part of it is the meeting of the executive committee of the International Geographical Union, of the IGU. It is the first time the executive committee make their annual meeting in a country in the Middle East. It was here in Egypt. It was on the 10th and 11th of April. The symposium extends from 12th to 15th, and from 16th to 19th of April is the excursion trips and optional trips. And after that, of course, in parallel to the symposium, there was an exhibition. And in parallel to that, we made many of agreements and protocols with many of the geographical societies around the world, and with some other commissions in the International Geographical Union.
Right. Dr. Yousef, the conference was held under the auspices of His Excellency, President Al-Sisi, and we understand that more than 30 countries
35 countries,
right,
beside Egypt. They came. We had at one of the online sessions that was on the 3rd day in the French University in Al Shorouk. There were people online with us from New Zealand to Cuba and Brazil at the same time. 6 participants. Some of them were from the Middle East and from the Far East as well. So we had
very good, especially given the time difference between the Far East and the Far West.
And imagine that this very session was run by the chair of the commission overseas, not even run here in Egypt, which is something incredible, and it's very difficult to arrange all the 39 sessions that the conference. We had already prepared for 45 sessions, but only 39 of them that people they attended and presented their whether boosters or oral or online.
Well, reading the list of countries, I can see the USA, I can see China, Japan, India, the UK, Italy, Canada, Brazil, and of course in Saudi Arabia, we have Nigeria and South Africa. and Tunisia. So it covered and many other countries, of course.
From the Mediterranean, there was mainly Spain, Greece, Italy, and France. Beside the biggest community came for
I see Turkey as well. Yeah.
Yes, Turkey, of course. The Secretary General of the IGU is Turkish, and he is the head of the Turkish society. We had also a lot of Chinese. They came at the last moment because they had the Chinese Year celebration, and they were late in applying for the visa. And actually, the number of the participants in this conference who exceeded more than 315 participants can be more doubled or triple of this number.
I also saw Russia, Germany, so it was really very nice to have just about the leaders of this science in the world with us here in the Egyptian conference.
Yeah, we had already within the executive committee Professor Nathalie Lemarchand. This is a very famous French geographer. The former president, Professor Michael Meadows, has 60,000 citations on the science, the website of science. We had many of the former presidents from for the IGU from China, from Japan, and from Romania. We had also the chairs or the heads of the geographical societies of China, of Saudi Arabia, and of Romania as well. And many of those people are well-known scientists. And in addition to that, many of the scholars and young career and young geographers also, especially from Egypt, for empowerment, youth, and young people.
Dr. Yousef, the theme for the IGU thematic conference held here in Cairo was geospatial technology, global challenges and sustainability. Talk to us, please, about the theme, why you chose this theme, and about the challenges and the solutions. Geospatial technology.
Yes, to design a conference or to decide to make a conference, we have to, first of all, to choose the theme or the main title of the conference. And in the meantime, the time and the season and the targeted people to attend these conferences, and in the same time, the budget and the fund and everything. And actually, and honestly speaking, that the title itself, we Egyptians, after we have already agreed with the International Geographical Union for a certain theme, we have changed it. Why? Because in our area here in the Middle East, sometimes they spoke not in a good manner about geography, and sometimes geography won't attract people or attract sponsors, won't attract companies to participate or fund. And the geospatial technology, this is the modern geography. That geography now is a digital geography. The geospatial, it's sometimes, maybe a few years ago it was named geomatics, which means that the dealing with the data of the Earth or in an automatic way. So now it's the dealing is not automation but in a digital manner. So all this geomatics is very important, not only for planning or planners or for choosing the places where we can have development or the criteria on which we can make selection of certain scenarios and so on, but it's also important for making survey and maps and even for supervising construction and so on. So the geospatial technology, we have a lot of companies here in Egypt and all over the world are not only interested in but is very specialized in this kind of techniques, and it's not only in geography departments or in geography domain, but in most of the other sciences that are related to the Earth. While the global changes, people usually look at it as it is natural or physical changes. That's only climatic changes. Everything is changing in our world, on the weather, on the physical or human level. So these changes are combined together, whether it is physical changes or human changes and sustainability. So using these all three together, and this comes in accordance to our strategy here in Egypt, building the new republic, new Egypt. So that's why when we tailored the program itself, we even made the visits during the symposium itself, that each of these visits serves one of the words or the meanings of this title.
Dr. Yousef, indeed, climate change comes to the mind automatically when we talk about the challenges.
Yes.
But you're telling us that there are other challenges than just climate change. But staying with global warming or climate change, how challenging is this? And I believe that the conference tackled this challenge.
We had one of the 14 commissions. There is one commission named Higher Altitude and Cold Regions. We don't have here cold regions in Egypt. We are not very, very high altitude. And the people who are specialized in this are from the countries that on Himalaya mountain, like India and China and Nepal and other countries, beside Russia, which has the greatest, cold desert or frozen desert. So it is very important for us to know how these scientists deal with this challenge of melting the ice in the Antarctica and
caused by global warming.
Yes, caused by global warming. And even many of our students and PhD candidates, they go to Europe to study this, because this finally will affect the rise of the sea level, which will affect our Nile Delta, and of course will reflect on climate or the blocks of water in the seas, and will cause all these climatic changes, and can make extreme, readings in climatography. That's why it was important. This is one of the challenges, and our students, especially young researchers and lecturers, they participated in this commission with their research, and it has around 12 scientific papers in this, although it's for cold and high altitude, but we have here St. Catherine, we have the Red Sea mountains, but still it needs a special commission for that. The IGU now has 47 commissions. In August 2024 there were only 44 commissions.
Right. Well, you mentioned the change in climate, and automatically we feel this each and every day. By the way, here in Egypt, for instance, which is known for its moderate and beautiful climate throughout the year, but we are seeing like huge rises in temperature and huge drops in temperature day by, and every two other days there's a difference of at least 10 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, this usually happens,
Okay, so it's not caused by global warming?
Not really, but there is some reflect on that, but this is usually happening, especially in this Sahara belt.
And by the way, when it comes to the prediction of the weather, because this is something everybody follows around the world, and especially here in Egypt, again with these fluctuations, and you at the Geographical Society, you have a role in predicting the weather, and
of course
so on?
we have a special climatology branch of geography. And we have many people specialized in this field. We have a big community of those who are specialized on climatic geography, and we made 2 or 3 conferences on that, and we participated in COP27 as well. And of course these things are now being measured and read by the satellites, which is specialized especially in this field.
Everybody follows that, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Yousef, one of the goals of the conference, we understand, was to find answers to problems and to the wide range of global challenges using a holistic approach within the cause-effect process.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that?
The cause-effect process, of course, we as geographers, people sometimes they say geography is a descriptive science. 90% of the statistics we use in all the domains is a descriptive statistics. And for us as geographers, we have to record, read, and analyze, and to also predict. So we have many approaches in geography, one of which is the approach that you have just mentioned.
Right. And Dr. Yousef, the necessity of transition from sustainable development to sustainable environment. This was mentioned also in the conference. Can you explain it to us, please?
Sustainable development and sustainable environment, that we have that everyone that talks sustainability. And when you see at any other any community that far away from communication with a world, or they don't have a good scientific background, while they are during their traditional life, burning, tires, burning wood, burning forests, and so on, they affect the whole world, not only the giant enterprises or giant companies that they are producing, these all. So the whole thing we have all as a whole earth, that everyone has to talk this sustainability, not only because no part of the world is far away from this bad effect of the global.
So Earth itself is at risk. I mean, you feel that.
Yeah.
And Dr. Yousef, also the conference focused a lot on and you mentioned this earlier here, but I want to get into detail here, the relationship between society, environment, and economy. So that's the holistic approach, I guess, you want to tackle. Geography is involved here in trying to explore the relationship between society, environment, and economy, and how best to fine-tune this relationship so as to benefit of
course,
mankind.
Every mankind, every human being has a mental image. This mental image, from this mental image, his behavior on the surrounding environment. So he's affecting the surrounding environment, and he is affected by the surrounding environment. So the human being is part of this component, and to keep the environment safe and to keep resources for the future generations. This needs not only scientists but also effective role on the ground by all the governments and all whether private or public firms.
Yeah, it's a two-way street. I mean, again, it's mankind affects the environment and vice versa. And the economy is involved here, so again, it's always a two-way street. The commissions, the IGU's commissions, you mentioned there are now 47 of them.
Yes.
Reading into some of them are very interesting. Like, I want to ask you about the African Commission. I'm sure this is very important for Egypt.
Yeah. We have the African Commission and we have the Mediterranean Commission. We are part of these two, and we already made protocol with these two commissions. Even not us, not all the professors, big professors, the young career and young geographers, they started already to take the initiative.
So what is the African Commission tasked with more than anything?
Actually the commissions of the International Geographical Union, it's considered like scientific societies inside the IGU. and as you know, is part of the member of the UNESCO. So whenever
UNESCO?
Yes. Whenever you have a domain or a certain speciality in geography, so it has a certain commission. But sometimes when there is a region which has the same, characteristics, so they can make for themselves a commission, like African Commission or the Mediterranean Commission. And actually the African Commission, they had all the specialities underneath this name of the commission.
Right. The Biogeography and Biodiversity Commission.
Yes, the biogeography and biodiversity. You know that there is diversity in all the species, and and to protect, this, you need research. You need also steps on the ground.
You need UNESCO to protect.
You need everyone. Imagine, like, for example, the coral reef of Australia when it's damaged. And which was a big source of income to Australia when it was, that everywhere you see on all the screens, Finding Nemo, or the film and the T-shirt and Nemo and the school book Nemo and everything, and it was a big, propaganda for but unluckily, what happened, due to the global changes, this was destroyed, and it needs to be rebuilt up.
Right. Now, there's also a commission called Marginalization,
Yes.
Globalization, and Regional and Local Responses.
Yes, this is one of the commissions that is specialized in human and social geography, and it is very strong. Of the commissions, they have a very good Q1 magazine. And of course, marginalization is not only in the third world, it's everywhere. When you went to the States and you went to other countries, and and so this
there are always unprivileged communities everywhere.
Everywhere, so that's why to show people, this is only 14 commissions that you mentioned, a few of them, just to show people how is the geography is wide umbrella and has a speciality in each and every things of our daily life.
And I guess, one commission which is exactly in your area, in your field, Dr. Yousef, you're the professor of urban geography. So there is a commission called Urban Commission, rethinking cities and the urban from the global to the local. Very, very interesting. Talk to us about it, please.
Actually, the Urban Commission, so this is the name that the steering committee of this commission, they put it for the Urban Commission. Urban Commission actually participated heavily in our conference, and we had at least 8 sessions for the Urban Commission, and actually we discussed and we displayed the articles of this commission on the second day on the hotel, and on the third day we choose the French university, and because they have urban department and architecture department there. And in the same time, for this very special commission, we made them a trip after the session. We let them visit the administrative capital, Al-Rubaiki Industrial Town, 10th of Ramadan Industrial Town, Al-Shuruk, to show them the expansion and the urban sprawl of Cairo on the eastern side of Greater Cairo, and show them the endless urban expansion until you reach to Al-Ismailia town, and we took them there to show them the old urbanism in Al-Ismailia. Al-Ismailia is a new town. Of course, there were old towns during pharaohs, and but to show them that was in before opening the
Suez Canal.
Yes, the Suez Canal. After the Suez Canal, when our EGS was established, it was 6 years after Suez Canal. Showed them Al-Ismailia. And of course, I took them there and I've shown them the tunnels, the new tunnels under Suez Canal, and the park lot that was prepared for the trailers that goes to to Gaza people, you know, and the park lot is empty. It is usually daily it's full of, and show them the Suez Canal, the dual navigation in Suez Canal, and although there was no navigation, but still Egypt stand on, you know, and not too much affected even by the lack of navigation in the Suez Canal. So the goal of this trip was serving mainly the urban commission for them as scientists and professors to see these things on site is better than just seeing it from the plane or, you know.
Dr. Yousef, maybe I didn't see it, but maybe it's there, maybe it's not. Isn't there any commission related to renewable energy, like geography and renewable energy?
Yes, there are.
Okay.
There are, but they didn't participate in this conference. This is a thematic conference, and we had a lot of difficulties to make this conference. The conference, we were preparing for it in the 2022.
It's 3 years ago.
2.5 years ago. And the commissions themselves, they have changed, you know, because they had election in August 2024.
Okay.
And also the board of directors here also was changed. And of course, due to the circumstances in the Middle East, so maybe some commissions they were not encouraged to come. And those commissions who participated in this conference, they came under the title of the main.
Right.
Yeah, we had only yesterday on the Earth Day, or the Day of the Earth. We had yesterday a big Zoom together with some colleagues from the Middle East about the renewable energy and so.
Yeah, good, very good.
Yeah.
So I'm sure geographical scientists can find work 365 days a year. I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure there's always a topic where geography is involved. Surely. Very interesting commission finally here that I want to ask you about is the one about young and early career geographers. And I really want to ask you, I mean, is this field attractive to the youth, and what does it offer to the youth? It's very attractive to those who want to think, who have a scientific mind, who you know, by nature, but what can it offer them also as far as jobs and employment and careers?
Okay, you know, this young is very surprising, you know, to everyone. These young career geographers, you know, when we started making the, you know, communicating with commissions, some of the commissions were not, you know, so much encouraged, and no applicants, you know, when we extended the closing date many times. And once of a sudden I had an idea to let some of my young colleagues to communicate with these commissions and ask them to get the membership, and I hereby encourage everyone to get membership in the commissions of the IGU. And the young commission were preparing to make, you know, like an event here about the geospatial technology with one of our colleagues in Ain Shams University, and asked them to join us with the conference. And the chair of the commission, he allowed to one of our colleagues to run this event. And we invited the representative of Canada in the UNDP. She is a professor in the College of Education in Canada. After she left the UNDP. And she was responsible on the empowerment of youth and how to make youth to think sustainability. And we had nearly 13 or 14 articles made by the diploma, Nile diploma, by students from Suez Canal University, and by young students, master's candidates, and BA in Manufacturing University as well. So they made boosters, they made presentation in French and in English as well. and were very surprising. And this is one of the very encouraging commission for all the young career and the young geographers, as you respectively said. About the jobs.
Yes.
We, as geography department, every year nearly between 10 to 11,000 graduates of the Egyptian geography departments. Egyptian geography department has branches inside, like cartography, like GIS, like surveying, and some of them has geomatics or geospatial, as you say, and geospatial and artificial intelligence. So 40% to 45% of the graduates of the Egyptian departments of geography, they master using the GIS, remote sensing, GPS, and surveying. And I would like you, when you go to Medinati or to go in any of the new construction you see on the Suez or the Ismail Road, you just ask any of these surveyors who are, you see them on the street, where are graduated from. He will tell you, I'm graduated from the Faculty of Arts, Geography Department. Our graduates who are specialized, they work on the assets of the government, assets of the states, and the plot plans,
the big infrastructure projects.
Yeah, big projects, and also in cadastral mapping for the properties, that they make it now. About also the many of the, like for example, the remote sensing agency.
Okay.
Like
so there are careers. There are careers for those graduates. Nice to hear. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, the time ran out very quickly. Dr. Ismail Yousef, congratulations on holding that a very successful conference, IGU 2025 thematic conference hosted here in Egypt. Dr. Ismail Yousef was the Secretary General of that conference. He's also the Secretary General of the Egyptian Geographical Society, the Professor of Urban Geography and Geographical Information Systems. It's been a great pleasure having you with us, and we hope to see you again when Egypt perhaps organizes another big event like the one in April here.
I wish to make something like that for the next year. I hereby just want to thank the Executive Committee of the IGU, namely Professor Natali, Professor Mohammed Al-Salemi, and all the cabinet of the Egyptian Geographical Society, and all the ministries and all the governmental and private sectors that assisted us practically on site.
Thank you, Dr. Ismail Yousef, and we commend you on the great efforts. And thank you, dear viewers, for watching Business Insider. Please stay with Nile TV.